Van Wyck and Kelsey Conley. Michael owns Incredible HVAC, Incredible Cleaning, and partners with RVA Roofing. He also has a nonprofit, Miracle Eats, and they're both as well with knowledge.
So, like she said, I own three businesses in Client Heights. Started my HVAC business back in 2011, and we work with a lot of different nonprofits. We're both Kiwanis members, Optimus members, and one thing that I want to talk to you about today is basically before I realized all the nonprofits were coming and that were sponsoring things, and just learned that with working with all these different nonprofits, a lot of them don't really communicate with each other or help each other. So I've kind of been that interconnection to be able to help a lot of people make that connection. Our club might have abundance of an item or volunteers that the other club doesn't have. So working with all the different people like that, I want to get more involved in community events and being able to help with that kind of stuff and help market your different nonprofits and your shrimp feast for the Kiwanis Club, like what it is, the purpose of it. So today's actually Kelsey's 1 year that she's been with me.
So one thing that I like to focus on, so obviously working for him, I kind of got thrown into all of these clubs, which it's been great, and it just makes me want to share that with other people that are my age. A big thing that I noticed when joining these nonprofits is that there's not a lot of people that are my age in these clubs, and I realized a lot of that is due to lack of encouragement from employers. If you don't have an employer that will allow you to, go to the lunch meetings or, take time out of their workday to do these things, it's really hard on the younger generation because it's just not encouraged as it used to be. So with that, I started a next generation leaders group under the Chamber of Commerce, which, so what I'm trying to build with that is a group of people to where they can come and get more information, or I can lead them to different clubs that they'd be interested in and kind of be a resource for clubs in the area. If they need volunteers or they need new members, I can kind of direct people in that way. So, I know you guys are talking about, re-energizing, and a lot of that comes from having younger members and having a new outlook or just a refresh of ideas. So that's my passion and what I've learned from following him and being thrown into these things. But it's been great, and I truly believe service work should be in everyone's life. I think it builds you in a way that you can't get from any other type. I don't think, just college or school or your regular job, I don't think that it can give you the same lessons or value as being in a service club.
Yeah, so like you said, you definitely learn going to the different groups and stuff like that. The Everyone Eats I started last September, and that was basically we feed every Monday for Client Heights and Petersburg. We do about 60 to 80 meals every Monday. Came up with that idea from volunteering our time at First Baptist in Hopewell, the cleaning company, and providing meals and volunteering for that. And we, meet more people. So Sam with Hope in the Streets, he goes to all these hotels and it's
really ran down hotels in Petersburg and provides hygienic products, clothes, food. And a lot of people, I think, have a misconception that these things aren't happening around us and that, maybe they're just in bigger cities, but you go to these hotels and you see children that look exhausted. They have clothes that look like they haven't been washed in days. They're hungry. Families, we saw babies in the hotels that there's mold on the ceilings and there's people being sex trafficked right around them. And a lot of people think that that's just happening in different places, but it's happening right around the corner.
Yeah.
So we really our goal is to bring awareness to that, get people out there and see for their own eyes, because I think that's what really has the biggest effect is when you go and you see this for yourself and you feel the difference that you make just in one kid's life. I mean, we don't understand how much of a privilege it is, I think, to be able to open our refrigerator and grab a drink or something to eat. So.
Yeah, so, you know, with the going with Sam, like we're going tonight at 6:30. We meet here, and we leave from here, and we'll hit 4 or 5 different hotels and give out about 180 meals and hygiene, clothes, and stuff. But just going with Sam, he's comfortable. He goes and knocks on these doors and welcomes people out. So I'm not familiar with that or being at a hotel that somebody might have got shot at last week. So he's like a mentor on being able to go there and see this kind of stuff and feel comfortable in it. So like I said, there's tons of people out here that are helping the community in so many different ways, or still have the same purpose as you, but have more knowledge or more connections to be able to make the bigger impact in the community.
So who is Sam?
Sam Martinez, his organization is Open the Streets. So he's got a bus and there's usually 20, 25 people that go. And then he's got a lady up off of Willis Road, the Chesterfield Food Pantry, works with her, gets her all the food. They bring containers to her and make all the meals. So, but just being a business owner, I've worked with a lot of different nonprofits, and the biggest thing I've always noticed is everybody has their own thing, they're focused on just that. Where if you work together and you go to, since I've been the Kiwanis member and office member, we have them 2 groups that are coming to the Shrimp Feast or the Good Tournament and volunteering their time, seeing other things.
Yeah, and another big thing is just learning from those clubs. As we were sitting in the Optimist Club meetings and their events, we noticed that they had a really high turnout for their high school level. It's the Joy Club, where they really weren't having to do much hands-on things. They're there for guidance and to lead them, but the kids are ultimately the ones that are putting in the hands-on work, which is very necessary, I believe. And so we took that back to the Kiwanis Club, and I'm actually the chair member for the Key Club, which is high school level Kiwanis. So our Brunswick Stew was probably one of the highest turnouts this past, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Highest turnout that we had for the high school level Kiwanis out at, because we took the advice from the other club and we brought it to our club. And so that's just really important, I think, is learning from other clubs and getting ideas. And
branding, I'm big on branding and learning how to save a club money. So when I joined the Optimist Club, their Brunswick Stew, they make 800 quarts. So what I did is made a sponsorship that I did last year with their Kiwanis Club. Everything the stew has a sticker on it, and it's got our different sponsors' names on it, company names, whatever. And then me and her both manage the Kiwanis and Optimist Club social media now. So we push all that stuff out. And they went from, spending $3,000 for their ingredients to having $3,000 as profit now to put back into the club. Same thing with the shrimp feast. They were spending $5,000, on the shrimp and everything for the shrimp feast. We made sponsorships out of all that stuff.
So his really big strong point is the sponsorships and those connections. And for me, I'm really big on the marketing. I think social media, whether we like it or not, is very important and necessary in this day and age. So I go to everything, I post about everything, I post multiple times about it, and I also use it. A big thing that I think a lot of people are lacking that are in these clubs is using their personal page or talking about it in your personal life. A lot of people, unless they're put into it, they don't know about these things. A lot of my family and friends didn't even know what the majority of these clubs were, and now they do. And I have people my age that are asking, how do I join? And all of that comes just from talking about it, posting about it. And so I think that that's really made a difference in the clubs that we're a part of. Does anyone have any questions?
You said y'all go to these hotels.
If you go on vacation and
Yeah.
you rent a room and it's not comparable at all, and like I said, the
These are places that you wouldn't even get paid to stay at.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, there. I mean, like she was saying earlier. I mean, it's nothing to see mold on the walls. The people have brought in their own beds. Like we had one family that we knocked on the door and fed, and they had the two regular beds, and then they had bunk beds, and there was a whole family with like 4 kids that were living in this room
it's
that's
like
half the size.
families,
of
it's
this.
not even just like 1 or 2 people, it's the entire family, and I don't know, and there's also a lot of drug addiction that goes there, and unfortunately, everyone has their opinions on that, but the kids are stuck there regardless, they have no choice, they have no voice, so, we should be that voice for them, and help them, and not judge the situation, and we go there with, an open heart, and meet them where they're at, which is Sam's big
Yeah, so that's.
motto, we come
Sam
to
is
them.
definitely, like I said, that's something Sam, he lived that life, and he's very, very powerful speaker, and he relates to them, so he meets them right where they're at, and like the family that I was talking about with all the kids, like you could tell the father was high, but
At the end of the day.
yeah, I mean, we were able to feed them and give them some hygiene things,
Yeah.
and
So you bring
he
those
was able to
meals?
pray with them. Yeah,
How
meals-
often during the week do you do that?
So there's several different organizations that do it.
Okay.
We feed every Monday. Every first Monday we feed at the First Baptist here in the Petersburg side library. So this past Monday we fed around 100 meals between the two locations.
Yes, I was thinking about asking that because I was thinking about you all in Regenesis. You all have the meals. Regenesis brings food
Yeah,
every second and fourth Saturday.
second and fourth Saturday.
So it works out really well together.
Yeah. So, and we work with the food pantry too. So, I've been working with the Clan Heights Food Pantry since COVID. Basically, every preventive maintenance I do with my HVAC, we donate $25. So we do a check once a month that we distribute to them. But building that relationship, I'm able to talk to Warren, and he knows I have this many families in this, hotel, and this hotel has a refrigerator. This one doesn't. We have to give them this type of food. So we're also able to work with him, and he's able to give flyers. Let people know like if you want a hot meal, you can reach out to us also. So,
Yeah, like the food pantry is great and a wonderful thing, but a lot of people don't have the transportation to get
they
there.
get there.
So it's kind of like bridging that gap and bringing the food to them. So.
Do you all have any idea, like, say today, how many people we're talking about in these hotels?
So I know, I don't remember the exact number, but
It's a good amount.
yeah, I want to say when I talked to the food pantry originally, it was over 100 and something, kids from our school systems that were living either homeless or in hotels. So,
I like the emphasis that Crystal put on the diversity of reasons and that we be careful not to look down our nose at a situation because but for the grace of God, there go I. In Boston, they're in the midst of negotiating even today rent controls because when I lived in Boston, Washington, D.C., they charge $2,500 for one bedroom. So, and then you have the competition of people who work government jobs, regular jobs, and you have people that work other jobs. We're still debating whether or not they deserve $15 an hour. When is the last time any of us made $15 an hour? But we expect families to live on $10 an hour. So it's not everybody on drugs. Everybody is not making the best of their funds. It's just life happens. Life happens.
and that's one of the families that, like the first time that I went with Sam and them, we met a family. It was a daughter. She had beat cancer. Her father was in a wheelchair with with the amputated leg. Mother had health issues. She was taking care of both of them. They had lost their house, so they were living in a hotel. And I mean, it was slammed full of boxes where, you know, they brought all that they could from their house. And we were there to actually drop off groceries. And then she was able to take us to some of the other hotel rooms of people that she, you know, knew that needed meals to get the rest of the meals. But Sam worked with them, and they're actually in an apartment now, so they got an apartment and got out of the hotel.
I can totally relate because when I moved here because I had cancer and they told me to get my affairs in order. So I go from living my best life on Martha's Vineyard, snapping my fingers to straight on my back. So I had to go through the full gamut of the chemotherapy, the radiation, the immunotherapy, whatever when you're dying.
Yeah.
But my bills were still coming in.
And that's something, you know, with us
They don't
working with
stop.
all these different groups that we've learned. Like, I have a lady, Jenny, that I work with, and she has connections and resources of people that will help get you off the street, get you a job, get you in a house or a hotel or whatnot, just from becoming homeless, like all your stuffs. But, you know, the stuffs are doing it, and then what you have to do for them to help you do that.
Yes.
So there's so many different organizations that are doing a lot, and like I said, that's the gap that I like help filling, because everybody looks at this and they're like, this is what I want to focus on. If it's homeless, if it's kids, it's drugs, you know, whatever the situation is, like, this is what I'm focusing on. But then I come in there and learn about that and say, well, you got this whole resource of free water. You know, you got a connection where you get pallets of water for free. And this organization over here is buying cases of water, you know, every week to give out. So just making them connections of different resources to help better the whole community and to
Yes.
make a bigger impact.
Can you give your public information to contact if people want to volunteer, if they want to donate or join your cause, because we need this glue?
Yeah. So we have several different pages, but the Everyone Eats Tri-Cities. If you go on that page, we have a schedule where you can go on and schedule for volunteer, and we also have an Amazon list. So I started that back in September, and a lot of it's businesses, churches, individuals that volunteer, and they bring the food to us. And then we provide all of the to-go containers and utensils and everything like that. So we have an Amazon list, and as we run low on that, we put it
So
out
that's
there.
like a wedding registry on
So
Amazon?
yeah, it's on the on our Facebook page, but you can always just reach out directly and we can help you. Like I said, our biggest goal is just getting more people out, especially the younger generation, because there is a dire need. There's always going to be the need, and if we don't pour into the younger generation to get them out and volunteering, then I don't know what the future would look like if we didn't have those people doing this service work.
Yeah, so I mean, like tonight when we go to these hotels, my sister and my little niece and nephew, they come with us to experience this.
I love it.
To see, you know,
Yeah.
children to be exposed to that,
Yeah.
to see that there are people that don't have things.
Yeah.
These are the ways we
It
get.
humbles you. It definitely humbles you.
Share information from other agencies that are resources for help, such as the flyers or the packets or the information.
Yeah.
I'd like to get your card because communities and schools, we work within the schools,
Yeah.
but we have 200 families that we know of
Yeah.
that are in the hotels. Sometimes we don't know all our families that are in the hotel because, of course, they're very private and protective of that information for reasons that we all know. And, but we also have a huge grant that we just wrote with our sister affiliates in
Yeah.
Chesterfield and Richmond for this purpose specifically, especially those that are working, our families that have substance abuse. So if you find that information, that'll be a good contact in Richmond, in Chesterfield, in Petersburg, and Hopewell.
So that's kind of why so the feeding the homeless is new to me. and literally we were just dropping off meals until I met Sam. And like I said, his group is Hope in the Streets, and he's got a website with resources like that you can go through for everything. So for things like that, I've been recommending him, and I've been bringing him to more of the chamber members and the other things. Because right now, it's him and his wife. I mean, they do on Friday. They do a men's group and a Bible group of 60 plus people, and they're providing all the meals and you know, bringing people together. But he has that knowledge and the other resources that I don't know anything about. So a lot of times I've been shifting people to him because I feel like he can make a larger impact with stuff like that.
To be in these rooms and meet new people. But if you have anybody, you know, employees or coworkers or maybe someone in your family that is aged 20 to 40, like I said, my next generation group is for anyone that's open to, you know, joining groups or coming out to volunteer. We also do mentorship. I can guide them and pass and connect them with people. So professionally and personal growth. So if you have anyone, just get into contact with me. We'd love to have them. And we've already had over like 25 people show up to each one, so which is a really good start for a group.
So like when you have this group, if you have someone like, say, for instance, someone from a Rotary Club came and spoke with them or whatever, because we need some younger people here to carry this club forward.
Yes, we're always looking for mentors to come speak. I have a speaker at our evening meetings, and then so we do our morning meetings here. And I like to have a few mentors come and sit in so they can guide the conversation and answer any questions that they may have. So that's what's been working for us.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, with all the groups. I mean, like, you know, originally joined the Kiwanis Club and Bill Humphreys, you know, hey, come to this dinner, you know, and I went for a year before I really started learning what the Kiwanis Club was and, you know, getting involved. And then, Danny with the Optimist Club, he came and donated stuff for the James House, and that's how we joined them. You know, he told us about the Optimist Club, and we've seen it, you know, the building right there forever, but never knew anything about it. So that's kind of when I hired her. That was my purpose. Like me and Ray, my partner in the roofing company, you know, we talked about. We wanted somebody to do the social media, but my purpose was I wanted to do the social media, but I also wanted to recognize all the different organizations and what they actually do. So that's, you know, that's where she's come in and really made a big difference on getting that younger generation. And
Such a good idea.
Yeah, so.
Well, I'm like, I don't want to be the only one in these clubs.
Well, the other problem that we see is, like he was saying, like people are stuck in an old way and they don't want change, but you have to have change to get your new people in, and you're so like with the Kiwanis Club, we started a social night where once a month we do a social to bring in that younger instead of doing a lunch or a dinner. You know, so.
Y'all welcome to join Rotary.
Yes.
Yeah, so
That's wonderful what you all do.
that, you know, that confuses me. Or what is the purpose of having all the different Rotary clubs in Petersburg?
We only got two.
Okay, so there's two of them.
But it's one in the morning, one is the afternoon.
Yeah, it's just based on. Right, because then you have one Hopewell, you know, they have them all around.
Yeah, I think you have them all
I
around.
think, and I'm not the one who's been in this club the longest, so.
So it's always been two separate clubs,
But
though?
way back when, I guess it was only one, and then the club got really large, and then the Breakfast Club broke off.
Okay.
I don't know, but Hopewell and Colonial Heights and some others, we sponsored.
Like we sponsored, and then they started the
Even
club.
before the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, because that's something.
120 people in the club.
So like, you know, we're Colonial Heights Kiwanis, but we go to the Petersburg meeting sometimes too, and